They said I was a footnote, background noise, a misfit, unimportant, too loud. Funny how that turned to kismet. Me and my truth, we sit real still, no sirens, let them scream in the daylight. Truth don't need alignment. I didn't want the headline, I saw the pattern. Opening my mouth made the whole room shatter. Try to keep it measured, flashing warning signs. Every time I spoke the truth, they called it crossing lines. I stayed out of the spotlight, studied every thread. Watched the story bend while they counted what I said. Never chased the platform, never begged the crowd. I was mapping all the quiet while they weaponized the loud. Not a drunk, but you can call me boozy. There's a lot more here than simple beauty. It's my time, I'm showing you the real me. Formally introducing Boozy Beauty. Boozy Beauty. Boozy Beauty. Boozy Beauty. Daily in the gym, yeah, I build this body, but don't confuse the muscle with the mind inside me. Got the ladies watching when I teach that beauty, but the real flex is knowing exactly who I'm proving is deeper than looks, deeper than likes. I'm sharpening language, intellect precise, full play, firm lines, boundaries set. I light my soul up, I don't need their respect. While they were boxed in, marks marching bold lies. I was face down, boxed in, hit from all sides. If they look beneath the noise, they see I never wanted fame, just wanted Pat seen. Not a drunk, but you can call me boozy. There's a lot more here than simple beauty. It's my time, I'm showing you the real me. Formally introducing Boozy Beauty. Boozy Beauty. Boozy Beauty. Boozy Beauty. Snakes in the grass slithering in my phone. I walked out clean when the silence hit home. Diamond in the rough, no filter, no scene. Funny how the dirtiest hands claim pristine. Not a drunk, but you can call me boozy. There's a lot more here than simple beauty. It's my time, I'm showing you the real me. Formally introducing Boozy Beauty. Boozy Beauty. Boozy Beauty. Boozy Beauty. You can call me boozy. Raising backbone, rockin' beauty. I've been here, now you finally see. Say it right, Boozy Beauty. Boozy Beauty. Boozy Beauty. Boozy Beauty. Boozy Beauty.
Wow. Hi, everyone. Another last minute live stream. So thank you all for being here. If you don't know me, hello. I go by the username Boozy Beauty, and I am a Norfolk County resident. And I think that's all I need to say about that. Thank you again for all being here. I literally set this like 30 minutes ago. I don't believe it's going to be a long one. I just want to do a quick little pop-in ever since last live stream on Monday. And I also want to thank any of you that are on the replay crew. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you for giving me your time. Chat, what's up? What's up, everyone? This was a wild day, huh? It's interesting. We all think it's going to be a slow couple of days. There's really not a lot of hearings, a couple here and there. And then all of a sudden it's like, boom, boom. Oh yeah, check mic 1 2 1 2. I see my thing lighting up. That's actually partially the reason why I got this microphone. A, because my first one broke, which is what took me some time to get onto YouTube again. But then also, I couldn't figure out this stuff. This angel light is better than last time. So at least it's better. And I did fix the font. I did fix the font for everyone. So I told you all it was going to be a couple of speed bumps, and I expect that for some time. But, you know, we just got to roll with the punches, right? You guys are amazing. I can't believe how many of you in here. How are there 600 of you here for a last minute live stream? Thank you again. Okay. So what is on the docket today? A lot. I think the elephant in the room is Michael Proctor's deposition, as well as the Sandra Birchmore update. We had a video from Chris Albert and things that were happening to him. I also want to touch upon some other things that some residents have been telling me. I think you all have probably seen my TikTok videos or tweets in regards to a witness from the Karen Reed trial that was not brought up to testify. And there's a very specific reason if you haven't heard that reason. I did get confirmation today specifically on that reason. So we will go over so much. I'm going to try to jam pack this all in 1 hour because then Emily C is live with the expert and I'm not trying to pew, pew over anyone. So, all right, let me say hi to chat for a little bit. Oh my God, if you guys were to see this, there's wires everywhere. I need like hair ties or something behind here. Yes, we will be talking about Sully. Yes. Please hit the like, please and thanks. I'm not on the clock or bird apps. Totally fine. That's also part of the reason why I decided to pop on YouTube, because I know a lot of you guys don't like to go over to Twitter, which is understandable. It's a little bit of a hot mess over there, but also TikTok tends to be a different crowd. So I understand. We welcome everyone over on this channel. Oh my God, I love you more. What do you mean? This is cray. Boozy, you the best, Renee. Let's do this. Oh, Mr. Sweeney. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Dennis. Do you guys love the emoji? What they call the member only emojis? They're so cute. I forgot to add in my new ones. So prepare to see some new ones that I'm working on too. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I can't hardly wait to hear what you have to say. Oh, by the way, chat, what do you think about this font? It's a little bit easier to read, right? Compared to the I tried making it pretty. I tried doing the pretty cursive and it didn't work out in my favor. It did it. Oh my God, I'm so excited you're here, Maisie's mom. What do you mean? You guys are incredible. I already have a couple of things. I just want to welcome a few new members. Romy, you don't have to do this. Testing 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. Welcome, Bama Mama 1208. Amazing. Oh my God, this is crazy. You guys are overwhelming me in like the best way possible. I'm freaking out. The MSS01, thank you for becoming a member. Thank you, Gen X Erica. Thank you. Oh my God, these names I am recognizing from other chats. Nicole RM, thank you. Jen Toxic, thank you. This is freaking crazy. The Good Man's 4431. You guys are freaking, oh my goodness. Oh, music to my soul. Oh, Fred, you don't have to do that. Is that intro graphic a reference to Draw the Cat Eye Sharp Enough to? It sure is. The Swifties get it. Yes. Oh, man, I love a winged eyeliner. But yes, my front opening graphic is a Taylor Swift reference. Yes, it is. Like most of my life, like most of my background is Taylor Swift. Strange credibility. Thank you. Oh, critty. Oh, damn. I am not the best with you guys' names sometimes. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Oh my God, and we got a gift. Bama Mama, thank you. And Chandra C, thank you for becoming a member. And the kind Oracle Lala. Okay, you guys are the best. Truly. And I am working on when we can do our first members only live stream too. And that'll be fun. That'll be real fun. Our first members live. So I know. Okay. And this is where I wanted to start initially, just because this is only my second live stream. But for everyone, whatever you did on Monday, I won't cry, but the support that I have felt since then from fellow creators, from law tubers shouting me out, for any of you who have given me a chance, like, I don't know how, but that live stream just went like kaboom in like all the best ways. And I don't even know what hype is. Like, I have no idea what that is on YouTube. But I think that the number I saw last was like 55 or something hyped. And I don't know what that means, but thank you. No crying in baseball. I love that. But yeah, I honestly, the support, I didn't know there were that many of you that were interested in hearing what I have to say. So it's very surprising, shocking, and just know, whoever you are, wherever you are, it does not go unnoticed. I think one day I will fully open up to exactly what has gone on in my life, and specifically the last year, a little bit more. It's been a bit of a roller coaster. So to know that whoever is here, all of you here today, showing your support, just know how much it means to me. And oh my God, I have a Cancer moon, so that means I'm very emotional. In all the best ways. And it's also Cancer season. So I kind of feel like, finding the home of it all, if you understand astrology or not. Okay. Oh my God, you guys are seriously like the best. Honestly, like I can't thank you enough. I really, truly can't. Like UK. Oh my God, I can't. Okay. Let me stop jibber jabbing and let's get on to something, because it's already been, I don't know, 11 minutes. Okay. So the very first thing that I do want to touch upon is Sandra Birchmore really quick, and then we'll get into Proctor's deposition, at least the things that we can talk about. Not much, but at least we know we can talk about just a little bit, as well as Karen's deposition yesterday, because there's obviously people that are talking negatively about it, and I find that interesting. So there was a filing today in the federal case. As you know, I'm sure most of you, Matthew Farwell, a former Stoughton police officer, has long ago been arrested, and he's going through the process of, trying to fight the case and yada, yada. ADHD squirrel for a second. I am following the SJC filing thing where they may be allowing cameras in federal courts soon, like soon, which hindsight is 2020, considering certain ham plaintiffs, their PR and media campaign after Karen filed suit against, the Karen Reed versus everyone lawsuit, but the House defendants, Proctor, Tully, Buchanan, their reasoning for moving that case to the federal courts was to avoid media, basically. That's what all of their PR people have stated. So even though they haven't stated it themselves, all of their main spokespeople have said that from the get-go. So I think that is an interesting turn of events if they move this to federal court, which obviously we know that case is going to take some time to go through the process. And then eventually, what if it ends up that cameras end up being allowed in federal court? There goes their reasoning. Oh well. Yeah. Karma is a cat lying on my lap because it loves me. All right. So there was a filing today, like I stated in the beginning. Let me move myself. God, I'm such a noob. I am such a freaking noob. Okay. Let me make myself small. So I want to thank Kyle Sharkey and Grant Smith Ellis for pulling this up for me in this filing. I didn't get to pull it up completely yet because I'm the type of researcher that really likes to get into the thick of everything. So in due time, I will read through all of this. I've seen little bits and pieces here, but this is one of the most important things out of the new filing, out of the Birchmore realm right now. So reading this together, I wish, if you follow me on TikTok, I wish I had like a way to like use my head as the cursor, because it helps me read, but I can't obviously do that on StreamYard, which is another reason why I don't like this app so much, but we'll figure it out, chat. So this states, it's, like I said, an excerpt from today's filing in the Sandra Birchmore federal case against Matthew Farwell. It says, as of June 2026, the government has provided more than 286,000 pages of discovery related to the charge, over 43 hours of audio and videotaped evidence, and voluminous digital extractions, the reports for which total over 750,000 pages. Oh boy. It's giving like Karen Reed trial 1 and 2 with all the docs that they had to send over to the, various plaintiffs like the O'Keefes. Holy moly. I wonder if it was indexed. I wonder if they indexed it. If you remember that from the O'Keefes, they were complaining that Karen Reed and her team didn't index all of their documents. Anyways, I digress. Notwithstanding the volume of discovery, nowhere does the government set forth sufficient facts related to the elements of the charged offense, which requires a federal nexus. Moreover, where the federal government appears to have conducted over 50% of all law enforcement witnesses interviews after Mr. Farwell was charged and arrested. Read that again with me. The federal government appears to have conducted over 50% of all law enforcement witnesses interviews after Mr. Farwell was charged and arrested. Oh boy. Oh boy. They go on to say, with some interviews conducted as recently as April 2026. Oh. Continuing on, it is exceedingly difficult, if not possible, to discern what facts were put before and found by the grand jury to obtain the indictment and what evidence was obtained after the issuance of either indictment in this case. Oh, chat. Oh boy. Uh-oh. So I got a quick little reminder here. I think chat's already saying their name. Who retired from the Massachusetts State Police recently? I was one of the only people to point this out the moment that he retired. I was like, oh. Who knows it? Who knows? Yeah. Oh, look, now chat going cray. Yup. Brian Tully, who, by the way, as a reminder, was demoted. So he retired as a detective. He wasn't, or just a lieutenant. He got demoted. And then he ended up retiring. April 6th. So if all of these interviews were taking 50% of them after Farwell was arrested, first of all, for the defense to even say that, the fact that a grand jury would indict someone, a federal grand jury would indict someone where half of the interviews weren't even completed, that is a pretty significant case, if I do say so myself. Now, can you imagine if Norfolk County District Attorney's Office was to bring charges and what that grand jury would say? They won't under Morrissey. We know this. They won't under Greg Connor. I'm not backing down on that statement either. We'll get into that in a little bit. I can't. The timing of it all is way too suspicious. Everyone's like, all the roads lead back to Tully. Yes, they do. They sure freaking do. Like I said before, we could go on and on and on and on about Brian Tully. We could go on and on and on. So that was the update on Birchmore. Like I can't even. Law enforcement interviews. Just think about that for a second. And all of the players that they could have interviewed since Farwell was charged. There's a lot. It goes beyond Norfolk County, beyond Massachusetts State Police. Obviously, there's Canton PD and Stoughton PD. Yeah, it is I agree, Mindy. It is terrifying to think of even how deep this goes. And obviously, you've been following Grant as well as me and a few others. We've been following some other things in regards to Stoughton. And yeah, it's petrifying. But with each and every day with this case and hopefully a new district attorney, hopefully we'll start seeing even more and more movement. Obviously, we're seeing more movement in other criminal cases like Miles King. And then, of course, we have the various civil cases, too, that are essentially, it's all of the cases at this point are helping each other out, which is why I always said that the civil cases are just as important as the criminal, even though there's not the stress of a criminal charge anymore, just to know that that much more information is going to be coming out. It's crazy. Oh, the Baghead Queen. We love Grant. We're going, Grant. So here's the thing. I think where, and I'm coming from a place of knowing where some individuals were at one point on one side versus the other. I think what happens in time after you look at everything and you get away from certain people, because I'm a firm believer that if you surround yourself with certain individuals, garbage, you eventually too are going to stink. And once you get away from the trash and you start looking with your own eyes, you start realizing, oh, that's weird. That doesn't add up. Oh, that's weird too. Why did that person say this? Wait, now there's 2 trials and your testimony has changed. What is going on here? Now you're giving affidavits in a civil case, and those don't match up to your previous witness interviews or your previous testimonies. So I wouldn't say necessarily he switched sides. I just think he got away from whatever he was around, and then he just started thinking on his own. Because once you do that, you realize, oh, yeah. Even if you don't think for one moment that, whatever the Commonwealth theory is, or even you think maybe Karen had something to do with it and it wasn't what the Commonwealth said, at least you can get away from the fact of like, oh, that theory doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? I am a towel. Broke the brainwashing, gaslighting. And if you watch Grant on any of his live streams, he's very open and honest about what he felt in the past to where he feels now. And for any of you that are newer to the case, it is fascinating to get into conversations with you because when newbies come in, it's like, oh, you need to have a seat. We're going to be here a while we go over everything. If you know, you know. Okay, so next up, Michael Proctor's deposition. Wow. Today was Depo Day. They kind of had like a back-to-back doubleheader, right? They had yesterday was Karen Reed, who may I say, did show up and chat, like, wait for this, also didn't try to delay her deposition. What? Oh, sorry guys. What a concept. Really? She showed up? Who would have thought? She showed up, right? Just to go over something very briefly, because I was like, you know what? This is just funny. And I don't like to give these people a platform, but every now and then, one of you guys just say something so funny that I just have to call out. One of the spokespeople, which I'm sure most of you are familiar with this person. If you are not, don't worry about it. Don't go down that rabbit hole. But this is a spokesperson for the McCabe, Alberts, and Higgins Defense Fund. As most of you probably know, they are raising funds for their legitimate defense fund. And apparently someone gave Julie Carpenter, who lives not in Massachusetts, this tip where she states from yesterday, I have heard from a reliable source that Karen Reed was spotted drinking alone at the Langham Hotel bar last night at closing time. The name of the bar, ironically, is The Fed. Oh, shocker. And no, I'm not kidding. I'm sorry. But if you can't take yourself out on a date, what are you doing? It's giving, I can't be alone. It's giving, I have attachment issues. And by the way, she also said, one of the things that she also said in the comments was like, and the rates for this room are like, it was another one of the spokeswomen, the rate of this room was $1,000 for the night. Do you all know what's going on in Massachusetts right now? Hello? It's only the World Cup. Why do you think hotels are so expensive right now? And also, if she wants to stay in town, not be in Dighton, so she can be prepped and early and ready for the deposition, which was going to be an all-day affair, probably going to be a multi-day affair if they didn't get it done in one day, then so be it. I truly don't understand. Like, I wouldn't say this crap about their friends, if they consider themselves friends. And you know what? That's the other point. Let me clear this off. Okay, clear this off for a second. Another solid point. Like, she's not on probation anymore. And even so, even if she still was, she can still go to a bar and have a drink by herself. That is not illegal. Like, end of discussion. End of discussion. Like, it's crazy. I just don't understand. I just don't get it. I just don't understand. Oh, hold on. Where'd that go? You mean, Josephine says, Jen can go to Aruba, but Karen can't have a drink. You mean Jen can plan a trip for her daughter, her just graduated high school, and her daughter's friends, and then selectively choose and make sure other people and other daughters can't go. Now, eventually, were these daughters allowed to go? Yeah. But was it a struggle? Yeah. Was Jen one of the main people that was like, you can't go? Yeah. Was it people in defense of Jen McCabe that blasted out all of these screenshots from Karina Kolakithis at the very beginning of the investigation? Just like I said about Grant, she was surrounded by individuals that thought a certain way. And then she realized, after being treated a certain way, and her daughter and her husband, that maybe something else was going on here. I called it out on my TikTok. That's mean girl behavior. Call for what it is. That's being a mean girl. It's just mean. She wishes she could be Regina George. Mean Girls is one of literally the best movies. That's my generation, by the way. That's my generation. Okay. Let me see. I got a little thing. Seen you a long time, Melanie's chat. Yes. We love Melanie here. She's the best. All right. Proctor's deposition. Let me pop it up. Okay. So Michael Proctor. So Karen Reed had her deposition yesterday, and today was Michael Proctor's deposition. If you are new to depositions or trials or courts or anything of it all, depositions are private. They are not streamed or put out there for the news. Like, no one should really know what's going on in that room. Now, if something happens out in public, that's a different story. If there's people outside of the building and something happens outside of the building, that's a different story. But I was told Alan Jackson flew into Boston for this. So if you remember the original dates, all of a sudden last minute, a couple of weeks ago, Proctor's attorneys was like, oh yeah, he has a health issue. He's not available anymore. Interesting. Why is that? It ended up being this whole thing back and forth. We all saw it. That's one of the big things that brought a lot of people back to the case, were obviously Karen's filing of the case, civil case against Massachusetts State Police and Canton Police Department. We first saw the first batch of a lot of these messages from Michael Proctor's second phone extraction, the cloud extraction, we'll call it, right? The 13 years worth of things. All of a sudden, he becomes ill and he can't go. Even Judge Gilday said, yeah, no, not buying it. Not only did Judge Gilday say in layman's terms that he didn't believe the diagnosis. He said this in court terms. I'm just saying it in layman's terms. But he also didn't believe the practitioner that signed off on this paperwork. Because if you remember, they had an early morning hearing, and then Judge Gilday told Proctor's attorneys, come back with more. I need more to figure this out. And he came back with whatever doctor's note, I think we're assuming. And Judge Gilday said, there's missing signatures on this. So he also doubted the practitioner, whoever signed off on it. I wonder if it was someone from Boston Medical Center. Oh my God, I did it. I forgot I'm on an Apple thing, and I forgot my thing does this. I think it does like other things you can do with the Mac computers, and it like does things. So thumbs up, everyone. Make sure you like the live stream. All right. So that leads us to today. He was ordered to go the next day. We all know that wasn't happening. AJ was busy. Other attorneys were busy. So today was Michael Proctor's deposition. Alan Jackson did fly into Boston, so AJ did come back for this. Now, I'm sure most of you follow Turtle Boy. Let me pop up his tweet real quick. So, thankfully, we have sauces that were out and about in Boston today. Of course, make sure if you guys haven't seen this tweet yet, you are on Twitter, make sure you, if you're not following him already, go like, repost, share, do the things, give him credit, of course. Dr. Turtleboy states, breaking news, Michael Proctor claimed to have a panic attack today and left his deposition. I have personally verified that was seen outside being consoled by his lawyers who were asking him if he could continue. No word yet if he did. OMG. That right there is, we'll call that a bombshell. We'll call that a WTF. So I think any of us can reasonably understand why Michael Proctor may be having a freak out moment, or why he might be suffering from anxiety, depression, and all of these things. However, very much, you guys are cracking me up in chat, very much the point of when Judge Gilday stated on Monday in regards to Colin Albert's deposition, the panic attack, the depression, the anxiety is self-imposed. The only person that can blame Michael Proctor for the way that he is feeling right now is himself. He has to hold himself accountable for the things that he did, that he said, what he believes, the supremacy that he was promoting. This goes way above well than just making a few dumb decisions or saying a few dumb things. If you remember back when his wife, Lizzie Proctor, and his sister, Courtney Proctor, went on the news and they had that entire news, whatever interview, you remember what they kept saying? He's not a bad person. He was just angry about Karen Reed, because this is what Lizzie said. There was, proof that, she killed a Boston police officer, a fellow officer. That does not excuse what Michael Proctor said. I don't think I need to go any further of what Michael Proctor stated, but if you know, you know. Which is going to, I might bump off the screen for a second, just the way that this screenshot is, which leaves me to this text message. So this was a part of Attorney Rosemary Scapiccio and the Miles King case, and another case that she is a part of, but this is part of the motion to dismiss, where we got to see, even more of the text messages. And here's the thing. Like I said earlier, if you are going to surround yourself with trash, you eventually are going to stink. The names that are on these text messages via a WhatsApp thread, there was like 7 of them or something like that. The majority of them have been identified, just so you all know. Just because they're not public yet doesn't mean anything. But this top one in the green is Michael Proctor, and on the blue is a name, Larry Kennedy. And Michael Proctor in the green says, ha ha ha, Michael, we could use them blanks as dartboards. So he's texting someone by the name of Michael. And then Michael Lawrence Larry Kennedy responds, I would love that perfect world. Oh, so you want to use individuals that have more melanin in their skin as dartboards? Oh. Is that the case? I did say in my tweet regarding this text message that I know there are going to be some people that are going to be excusing this because of how long ago it was. That doesn't matter. You said what you said. And I can only imagine how many others around them where we don't have those communications also engaged in this kind of rhetoric. And rightfully so, anyone that spent a little chunk of time around them, but especially people that are family members, wives, girlfriends, partners of these men, are you going to continually excuse this away, or are you going to start calling it out? So if you don't know who Michael Lawrence Larry Kennedy is, his wife is Meg Kennedy, who is Jennifer McCabe's one of her close friends. She also was Sandra Birchmore's guidance counselor. And although there have been some people that have spoken to her in regards to all that, and she does feel she could have done something about Sandra, she didn't. So that's obviously a major mistake she made. But now we can rightfully so question, does she also think this way? Because if your partner feels that way and you sleep in bed with them every single night, there's kind of no going around that. If you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. Now, what's interesting regarding all of this as well is that once this person, it was made public that these messages were going out there, they made a very valid attempt of clearing any of like the search data websites online. They made an attempt to clear some things off. And I have a screen grab of that as well. Let me pull that up. I have a lot of screenshots. I have too many screenshots. I am too thorough. Okay. 4 page not found from True People Search. Yes, this is from Mike Lawrence Larry Kennedy's True People Search. And so what he had to do was basically he probably Googled his name and then went through and any of the like white pages, yellow pages that are online, back when we used to get the actual phone book, any of these websites that can get your data pretty much from anywhere. He probably just Googled his name and went through and requested that his name was taken off all these pages. So there's that information. It's just like you can't truly, just when you think everything is done, it just becomes more. Let me take a break for a quick sec and say thank you to more of you because you guys are being incredibly generous. Thank you for becoming a member, Amy, and thank you, Bub's mom, as well as, oh yeah, I agree, I just need a latte. Same. That's that me espresso. Mrs. Georgia Ma, thank you. Hayden's Ma, you're the shit. No, you're the shit, Hayden's Ma. You're the shit. I need every single one of you to look in your mirror and say, I'm the shit. Like, I am that person. I am that bitch. Love you guys. Oh, thank you, Layton, for gifting 5 memberships. I hope you all enjoy your tab opening. Make sure you stay a while. It took me a while to figure out what to name the membership, so I hope you enjoy it. LOL, you can call me Strangelove. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I hope I'm not the only one that messes up your name either, because I was like, mer. Okay. Oh my God, all the new members. Hi. Thank you, Layton, for becoming a member. Lady Laura, thank you. I'm seeing so many names I know. Thank you, SC Grandma. Oh my God, you guys are freaking amazing. Just Me Jade, thank you. Thank you, Andrea. I like your spelling of the name for the username. That reminds me of like AIM days. If you know, you know. I miss those days. Tons of fun, 901 love. Thank you. Pammers TN, thank you for gifting. You guys are like, I need more like vocabulary instead of just like wild, crazy, amazing. You're the best. Layton loves her. Gigi, being stupid is not an illness, Proctor. No, it certainly is not. Thank you, Angie. I think you're amazing. Follow you on TikTok. Thank you. Oh my God. United Kingdom. I love your accents. Thank you, Christina, for becoming a member. Chris, thank you so much for the $19.99. Thank you. And thank you, Tammy Johnson. I appreciate you. Luna's mom. Hi, Luna's mom. Thank you for becoming a member. And thank you, Nana Banana. Okay. What's up next on the docket? So we went over. Okay. Now, I just made a tweet about this too. More about Proctor. I mean, what a crappy day for him. what a crappy day. All right, so obviously I would like to open up my chat with me saying I'm a Norfolk County resident, and that's all I got to say about it. That's all I got to say. Well, as we all know, if you don't know, we have a district attorney election coming up. And the man that's coming out of the office by the name of Greg Connor, obviously all the candidates are giving out their signs and they're going door to door. They're doing their events. Well, we got this little tip today. And I, again, not shocked, not surprised at all by this. Thank you to Jazzy Rice 17 for being the eyes and ears that we need in town. One of the many. Thank you. So if you're not following Jazzy Rice 17 on Twitter, please make sure you go follow her, give her the likes, the reposts, the loves. Please. Always remember, once I show these, to make sure you give them some love if you're on the app. So she is a Canton resident, and she noticed today something special on Courtney Proctor's front lawn. And she states, Mike Proctor, author of many of the disgusting racist texts now tied to the Karen Reed fallout, is back living only blocks from 34 Fairview Road. And now there's a Greg Connor for DA sign on the front lawn. Greg Connor is running for Norfolk County District Attorney. And she went on about it. This I saw, and I was like, no way. So, like I said, there's quite a few individuals in town, a large portion of you, that are very interested in what's going on with the Norfolk County District Attorney's race. And some of you did do a little walk by, drive by to make sure this was legitimate. And yes, this is legitimate. So anyone in chat that is saying, is this AI? No, that's legit. So not only are we hearing that potentially Michael Proctor has moved in with his sister, as well as his parents. So they're like doing a whole in the family. They put, what do you mean they took it down? No. Are you joking? No. No way. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. If you are going to be so ballsy to put this on your front lawn, just leave it up. It's too late. It's too late. You might as well just keeping up. I don't know if Courtney did it or her husband or their parents. I highly doubt Mikey did that. I highly doubt that was Michael. If you guys are going to have the gall to do it, just full chest support him. It's too little too late. It's too little too late. You did it. Here we go again. This is what I mean. The Streisand or the New Age Afro Man effect. I mean, you did it yourself. This is only going to bite Connor in the butt. Truly. And obviously things go around town with the rumors of it all. If you're a Bravo person, you know where that comes from. But obviously, if we had to take one guess who the Proctors would be supporting out of all the district attorney people, out of all the candidates, it's going to be Connor. Even though at the debate, he was saying, bigot this, bigot that, Proctor this, Proctor that. I mean, who else are they got? They're not going to vote for Adam Deitch. They're not. Duh. And I do have the closer up image of that. What do you mean they took it down? Are you effing kidding me? You have got to be fucking. Hey, I was going to say it right now. I proudly have an Adam Deitch sign. Not only do I have a sign, not only did my behind double down and put out a sign, I put a mother duckin' bumper sticker on my vehicle. I am not that girl. But for today and for this election, I am that girl. I am that girl. I cannot. We are docked if Greg Connor gets in office. Like, I am nervous. I am so nervous. But yeah, so like I said in my earlier tweet, it doesn't mean that with the whole Proctor having a sign out, it obviously doesn't mean Greg Connor supports that decision, but it says a lot more that the Proctors, whoever put that out, made that decision to loudly and proudly put out their support for Greg Connor. And given all of the media attention that the whole, we'll call it Proctor files of it all, has reopened all of this, more eyes, new eyes, back on the John O'Keefe investigation of it all. What a decision that was. Honestly, I want to thank you all. To whoever put out that sign, thank you. Now that we all know that you'll be voting for Connor, that makes me question, as a constituent, as a county resident, is there something going on behind the scenes that we don't see there? Obviously, that's not provable, but that's where my mind goes. Is there something else more going on that we don't know about? And I think that is a valid question to ask, given everything, the whole shit show of the last month. Like Brian Tully retiring, people moving out and around and about. I'm being told, what was it, like 2 months ago, that Yuri Buchanan was eligible for a promotion to become lieutenant. Like, what else is going on here? I am just like, chat, this goes so much deeper. I know. I'm like, I'm trying to wrap my head around all of this and like in real time. And I'm like, and then they took down the sign. And then they took down the sign. This is crazy. This is crazy. I know someone put it out at one point, like Greg Connor is just looking for a promotion. And that's what it feels like. Like, I don't believe him. Though that debate said it all. Like, that debate said it all. Like, it's so deep. I love you. I love you back. By the way, your hair is blonde and beautiful. I at one point tried to be blonde and it did not work out for me. So I went in the opposite direction and I went pretty much like super black hair. Okay. I did have in my research today, because I was like, I just want to do a little more digging. Like, I'm just curious. If you watch my first live stream, if you watch me on TikTok, I am very proudly neurospicy. I have ADHD and my brain just goes like this. So when I'm researching, my brain tends to go in all the different directions and I end up down all of the rabbit holes. So I ended up on the Norfolk County Registry of Deeds today. Because I was like, what do you, like, wait a second. When did they, if Proctor's parents are all, it's a whole all in the family situation, the whole family is in that house. When did they sell their property? So then again, like I said, I ended up down the Norfolk County Registry of Deeds, which is public information. Let me just preface this. And I found something. I didn't know this. So if this is not new to you all, lovely. This was new to me. This was new to me. So these are Proctor's parents. So Mikey and Courtney's parents used to live at this address. And they sold it in 2010. So as you can see at the top of the screenshot, it says recorded June 1st, 2010. Grantor David and Karen sold this property, to Scott Brown. Does anyone in chat know who Scott Brown is? I think some of you may know in chat. They have, or they had a specific job in town. You guys are cracking me up. Sure do. Sure do. Sure do. Do you guys remember the name? Because I was like, hold on, wait a second. Hold the duck on. What is that? What the helly? You can't make this up. You can't. You can't. Just when you think you have found it all. Now, here's the deal. I was just like, let me just I'm just going to pull up the address on Google Street and let me just pull it up. Why the hell is a Canton PD K-9 officer's car out that address? No, Scott Brown was Canton PD, guys. The Proctors, well, his parents sold this residence in 2010 to a Canton police officer. Again, it's one of those things where I know some people on the other side are going to be like, that was 16 years ago. What the hell? That's not a big deal. Yada, yada, yada. Again, it's just something else to add to the list where Proctor, Michael, could have said this if he wanted to be fully accountable, fully clear his conscience. If he really didn't do anything wrong, these are one of the things that he should have said from the get-go to whoever put him on the John O'Keefe investigation. This is what this, I know this person, I know this person. I drank and drove with Kevin Albert and he lost his pew, and then I joked around and said I could leave it in my mailbox. Oh yeah. And then my parents also sold their old house like way back in the day to Scott Brown, Canton PD. That's all you have to say. But it's like, how many more things do we have to freaking find? How many more things? And like I said, this is not like this huge thing. It's just something else to add to the list when it comes to the relationship between Michael Proctor and Canton PD. There's a huge reason why Proctor and Goody didn't say how close they were. Because now knowing and going through all of the things, because I'm still going through all of the like FOIA requests, public records requests, and all the things. But just knowing, like, let me say the key swipe logs of it all that I'm still going through, seeing how active Goody was that morning, knowing that Proctor and Buchnick were also there, Buquaquack. I mean, you want to say like, well, Gallagher was in charge, whoever was in charge. I'm sorry. The way that Goody was going around and about during Canton PD, it would not surprise me if he was the lead person contact within Canton PD. We know he was for when Trooper Pirouette Paul went in to do his testing. Goody was the point of contact person. That's not an issue? That's not an issue? Okay. I forgot something really quickly. Going back to, give me a sec. Going back to this. Michael Lawrence Larry Kennedy, who was married to Meg Kennedy. I forgot this. This is really small, and I apologize. Like I said, I am brand spanking new to live streaming. So I'm sorry I cannot make it bigger. I do not know how to do that. So I'm going to read this email to you. Now, if you don't know what this is, back when Michael Proctor, well, the middle name is sending me. Yeah, that's because that was his childhood nickname, Larry. That's why. So this email was sent by many people, which we saw in a recent public records request. This was what? It was right after Proctor was suspended, right after the first Karen Reed trial. So it was July of 2024 where Proctor was first suspended. And Courtney Proctor put out basically a plea on a private Facebook group that obviously is not private because everyone and their mother can be on Facebook and in these various groups, where she put out a public plea to send out all of these email to all of these people, all of the politicians, all the important political heads, Maura Healey, the AG, all of them. Send out this email and protect Michael Proctor. Let them know how you feel in regards to how Proctor and the Massachusetts State Police have been treated. I'm going to name some of these names. We have senators. We have many senators. Oh my God. I think it's all of the senators that they sold this to. Pat O'Connor. Oh my God. Okay, we are not naming all these names. It is literally everyone and their mother. Martha Coakley. Why would they send this to Martha Coakley? The Globe, multiple people at the Globe, John DePietro. Wouldn't he already know this? Right, chat? I feel like John DePietro would have already known this. Okay. So I am going to read this to you. I know it's small. I'm so sorry. I apologize. I'm going to read it to you though. It's like, you know what? Have it be like a bedtime story, right? So just remember the connection from Meg Kennedy is she is Jennifer McCabe's best friend. Meg Kennedy is married to Larry Kennedy. Larry Kennedy is on Michael Proctor's phone data saying all of the things. All of the things. So it says, I'm reading this off my phone, by the way. You guys are cracking me up in chat. And thank you on the replay crew for dealing with my nonsense. I love you guys so much. It says, good afternoon. I hope this message finds you well. As a registered voter of Massachusetts, I am part of the silent majority that has watched. For the past year and a half, witnesses, law enforcement officers, and first responders be subject to relentless harassment, intimidation, and slander. How much of that ended up coming true, though? That's my question. Because I don't think many of us could even fathom the things that these men, who's not only law enforcement, but just Canton men. Crazy. She goes on, it appears that Michael Proctor is being used as a political pawn. In 2020, the Boston Globe published an investigative story. Dozens of state police troopers remained on the force despite past illegal conduct, citing that at the time of publication, 10 troopers ranking captain or higher had sustained charges. In particular, Trooper Paul Higgins was placed on paid leave after colluding with known criminals and using police databases to conduct searches on their behalf, resulting in a federal criminal investigation. Yet, here comes the Proctor defender. That's the life of a Proctor defender. Thank you, Fervent, for always having that in my head. Yet, Michael Proctor has been targeted and placed on unpaid leave, the horror, for using profanity and lewd comments about Karen Reed, who, I won't say the M word, unalived a fellow officer and orchestrated a smear campaign to target innocent civilians fulfilling their civic duty as witnesses. Profanity. Michael Proctor was looking for images of Karen Reed undressed in her phone. Michael Proctor was not joking about that. He said it was a lighthearted joke. It meant nothing. Sure, I've said this time and time again. There has been long-standing rumors of cops going through phones, taking nude images, and passing them around. And I will never forget when Proctor testified to that, because that's immediately where my brain went. And now, lo and behold, what has come out from all of this? And just the fact that anyone, but especially women, this is the crazy shit that I will never understand. Women would be okay with a man saying that about another woman. I know, I get it. You guys don't like Karen Reed. Cool. You don't have to keep saying it. But if Proctor is going to be saying that about Karen Reed, who's to say he doesn't say that shit about his wife or his sister, his mother? You know what I mean? Holy moly. How many other women has he spoken about like this? She's not done, by the way. I am utterly shocked and disappointed in both elected and appointed government officials who are choosing to succumb to the noise created by a blogger. Okay. Insane. Always trying to blame someone else for other people's words. This has nothing. Proctor's words have nothing to do with Aiden Carney. Fucking period. That is how Proctor is as a person. The noise created by a blogger, his followers, and a high-paid defense team at the expense of innocent witnesses, law enforcement, and first responders. If you lied on the stand knowingly, that doesn't make you innocent. Not sorry. The wrongful suspension and impending termination of Michael Proctor and the senseless investigation of John Fanning. She did not say John Fanning. Fucker Fanning. Investigation of John Fanning and Yuri Buchanan directly compromise the retrial of Commonwealth versus Karen Reed, undermining the district attorney's case and tainting the potential jury pool. What do you think your fucking billboard did? Come on. Not only do these actions directly interfere with the Commonwealth versus Karen Reed, but also Commonwealth versus Aiden Carney and future civil suits. Hindsight's 2020. Because I'm pretty sure it's Michael Proctor's words that are now going to bite all of you in the ass. And I kind of love that for all of you. The state has failed upstanding citizens, and state employees and allowed judicial proceedings in the Commonwealth versus Karen Reed to be influenced by external influences. There is a clear abuse of authority by government officials. We will agree to that. See what I mean, guys? We can be objective. If Meg Kennedy is stating there is a clear abuse of authority by government officials, agreed. Agreed. Case in point is Miles King. Case in point, Karen Reed and like, this is just fucking insane. It's wild. There's a clear abuse of authority by government officials and agencies acting out of personal and political interests rather than the interest of the general public. This is her last line that's in bold. I stand with Michael Proctor, John Fanning, Yuri Buchanan, and Brian Tully of the Massachusetts State Police. And she signs it with her whole signature. Her website, her licensure, the whole shebang. The whole kit and caboodle. When you think you couldn't be even more flabbergasted. And this is why I'm constantly saying, if you all were so comfortable saying this in the summer of 2024, say it with your full chest now. Do you stand with Proctor still or not? Because a lot of you on your accounts or your fake accounts went on and on and on about what a great father and great person Michael Proctor is. Frankly, I don't think any of them are going to say anything because some of them, it's their partners. Because if they're going to call out Proctor, they also have to call out their partners. I don't think they're going to do that. Quick little breather. Then I have one more thing for you guys. And then Emily's live too. Gifted 5 Boozy Abusing Men. Thank you, Luna's mom. Thank you, Layton. You can call me Gigi Cupcake. Oh, okay. I'll call you Gigi. Thank you. Okay. Proctor's bottom list. Something that keeps bugging me. Karen Reed said Jen really wanted to go back with them to Fairview for a surprise. Were they planning on outing her for Higgins' text and that's why they hate her so? I mean, if you want me to be completely honest, there will be a time and place where I bring you guys through what each individual person was doing on that video footage at the bar. And once I think that I got an idea for that. But to see their reactions in HD right when John and Karen enter, it's Kelly Dever wild. It's like, you guys all said you didn't know. Then why is Caitlin reacting like that? What's going on with this? There's a lot we can talk about. There's a lot. But if you want to ask me, yeah, I think they were going to probably say something about Higgins and Karen. Yeah, I think that's the easiest thing. Unless they're going to talk about Kevin Albert or something. I have no idea. Thank you, Melissa, for becoming a member. Thank you, Blueberry Girl. Thank you, Jennifer Russell. This is fun. Thank you, friend of dog. I have 2 dogs, if you didn't know that. So I'm also a friend of the actual dogs. And by the way, your dog is very cute. Very, very cute. I love the curly Q dogs. Oh my God, gifted 5. You guys are making it rain. This is wild. Thank you, Love My Flip Flops, for gifting 5 memberships. Romy again. Romy, you gotta stop. Did you see Sully's tweet from an hour ago? No. Because that's where we're gonna end. That's where I want to land this plane, is with Canton resident, Sully. And thank you, Jennifer Hughes. Thank you. Okay. Amazing. You guys are freaking amazing. One more thing. Sully's as in no, oh no, not Sully's as in a restaurant. Sully's as in a witness from the Karen Reed trial. Okay, let me make myself scroll again so you guys can see. Okay. All right, chat. So this is a screen grab that I pulled from one of the public records requests. We got, again, like I said, quite a few of the high definition videos. So this is obviously from CF McCarthy's. And you can see John O'Keefe, Karen Reed, and then right across from them, the man that's in like the half zip up, his name is James Sullivan. Some of you probably know where I'm going with this. Oh, yes, Sully. So everyone's like, Sully as in T. Oh, my God. Yeah. So he is a witness in the Karen Reed trial. Obviously, you can see he spent probably over an hour at CF McCarthy's with John O'Keefe and Karen. And as you can tell, in very close proximity, they were joking around, having fun, like having a good time. So I want to pull up first his interview. Crap, and it's small again. Ugh. I'm going to have to ask my fellow StreamYard friends on how to make it bigger. Okay, hang on a second because I want to pull this up. Chat amongst yourselves for 2 seconds. 2 seconds. I know everyone's like, you're live again. I wasn't planning on it. And then we got like bombarded with all of the things this week. Okay. So if you don't know who James Sullivan is, he is a Canton resident. And he met John O'Keefe a year before John died because James Sullivan's son and then obviously John O'Keefe's nephew played sports together. In particular, I think it was baseball and basketball. So the two of them would see each other fairly often, given that, for the most part, those kids were in sports probably a majority of the year together. Okay, so I have it. Here we go. Lovely. So he did provide a report. And obviously the officer that was taking the report is Michael Proctor. None other than himself. Okay. His interview took place on May 18th, 2022 at 2:30 p.m. And what's interesting about this, you guys remember from what's it called? Wait, Control Plus. You know what? I don't want to hit a button in case I flub it up. So next time I am behind the scenes a little bit longer, I will play with this so that I know for the future. Okay, chat. I love you guys for helping me. You guys are the best. Okay, so if you remember from trial where like Alan Jackson, David Yannetti, all of them were saying, why did it take so long for you guys to fill out your reports? For some individuals, there's no reports at all. Well, what's interesting is that Sully, you can call him, his report by Michael Proctor, he was interviewed May 18th, 2022. Proctor filled out his report by May 24th. Like, what the duck? So he goes on to say in this report, Trooper Christopher Moore and I met with James Sullivan, which I believe is at his house. Throughout the investigation into the death of John O'Keefe, detectives retrieved security video footage of C.F. McCarthy's bar in Canton. I viewed the video and observed Karen Reed and John O'Keefe inside the bar for several hours. While at C.F. McCarthy's, I observed John and Karen have a conversation with James Sullivan, which makes me wonder if Proctor knew who James Sullivan was. You know what I mean? For him just to know who James Sullivan is and just to like pull him off of like a video. He's like, oh yeah, I know him. That's interesting. Actually, that's very interesting. Now that I'm thinking about that, I'm like, oh yeah. Proctor goes on to say, as patrons began leaving C.F. McCarthy's, the three stood by the bar, consumed drinks, and conversed for approximately 1 hour. James met John O'Keefe through sports. Obviously, John O'Keefe's nephew and James Sullivan's son played basketball and baseball together. James knew John for approximately 1 year. For the first time, he met Karen for the first time that Friday, January 28, 2022, at C.F. McCarthy's. James stated he arrived at C.F. McCarthy's at approximately 8:30 p.m. and left around 10:30 p.m. James was there with a couple of his friends, Tim O'Brien and Mike Welch. James stated while at C.F. McCarthy's, he encountered Mike Camerano and Kurt Roberts. Obviously, Kurt Roberts is who? Carrie Roberts' husband. Mike Camerano is who? From the Cameranos. We heard all about them. Remember Karen Reed called Mike's wife, try and look for John earlier that later on that morning on the 29th. While engaged in conversation with John and Karen, James stated the two looked happy and Karen appeared to be in a good mood. James described Karen as being toasted. We'll get back to that. Pin that in your head for a second. And she was consuming mixed drinks. James did not observe any injuries to John while at C.F. McCarthy's and did not observe anyone arguing with one another. James stated John was consuming beer and Karen a clear liquid mixed cocktail. James described the conversation with Karen and John as nothing out of the ordinary and the topic was just random stuff. James stated he left before Karen and John and had no knowledge they were going to the Waterfall bar across the street. Prior to James leaving, video showed he purchased a round of shots at approximately 22:29, time stamped on the video. Yeah, we know that, Proctor. John, James, and a male wearing a black shirt consumed theirs, and Karen poured hers into the drink she was consuming. That is the end of the interview. And here is the moment that he's actually speaking about. And this was obviously heavily spoken about in both trials. But this is like, oh, you know, the boys did the shot and then Karen Reed dumped hers into her glass, which is, yeah, I mean, I'm not taking a shot of vodka. Sorry, not happening. Sorry, not happening. So, like I said earlier, it's very interesting that Proctor knew exactly who Sully was right off the bat. Right off the bat. No ifs, ands, or buts. He goes, oh yeah, I know who that is. Of course, I know who that is. But let me see if you guys have a question. I do have a video in regards to Mike Camerano's testimony that I pulled up. This should play. Fingers crossed.
Mr. O'Keefe speaking to another gentleman, is that correct?
Yes.
You know who that person is?
Yes.
And who is that person?
Sully?
And do you know his first name or anything beyond his Sully?
Sully, I don't know his first name.
And how is it that you know him?
Kids play baseball with his son.
So in addition to your son playing baseball with Mr. O'Keefe's nephew, Mr. Roberts, does he have a son that around the same age?
Correct.
And this individual, Sully, he has a child that plays baseball with the three of your kids?
Correct.
Is that someone that you had contacted to meet there, or he just happened to be there?
He just happened to be there.
Okay. So that was Mike Camerano testifying. All right. So that, like I said, that was Mike Camerano testifying of exactly who he knew Sully to be. Now, here's the thing. Let me just go back for a second. You have a witness that is saying Karen Reed, per this interview, Karen Reed was toasted. Okay, why not bring in that witness? You know what I mean? You're trying to prove Karen Reed was so wasted, so drunk. And if you have a witness that was very, very in close proximity for at least an hour, if not longer, why wouldn't you bring them in? Oh, we do have a couple of tweets from Sully. Dirty. Okay, how many guesstimate things do I have to pull up before I figure out which tweet it is? Is that it? Ah, there we go. Let me move myself. So most of you have probably already seen this. Just giving you a little reminder. This is James Sully Sullivan, and it is confirmed to be him. It is confirmed. Not a troll. He says, June 2022 at D&E Pizza. Chris Albert says, I didn't know you were at the bar that night. I need a reminder. When did Michael Proctor fill out this report? He interviewed May 18th, 2022. And then Proctor filled out this interview report on May 24th. So in June, again, it could be a week later. It could have been the end of June. Doesn't really matter. Chris Albert says, I didn't know you were at the bar that night. James Sullivan, you were there? I didn't see you there. How'd you know I was there? Chris Albert, your witness statement. James Sullivan, that's public? Chris Albert, yeah, it's online. Anyone can see it. James Sullivan states, Michael Proctor was discussing my witness statement with Chris Albert in June of 2022. You'll come to find out why soon. Spoiler alert, it was not public information. Oh, we know that. Do you know why we know that? These interviews were not given out to the public. And in fact, if you guys were here for pre-trial 1, how much effort did it take for Karen Reed's team to get even the most basic of information? It took forever. And the way that they are fulfilling public records requests right now from the DA's office, it's basically chunks, but quicker chunks, and the way that they gave this information to Karen's team. So I can only imagine sitting there and only getting a handful of interviews. And then 2 months later, another handful of interviews. Like, that's how sporadic this discovery was. It wasn't all just done. Like, here are all of the reports for the interviews, which is fine in an investigation if you're actually doing a real investigation. But as we all know, this was flawed from the very moment that John hit his head. Simple as put. Now, that wasn't the only thing that he said, because he also wanted to call out Sergeant Sean No Fucking Good. No fucking good. Now remember, Proctor was able to identify James Sullivan off this video footage. All right. He just went basically like knocking on the door one day or whatever to do this interview. So he also says on August 4th, 2023, Canton is receiving a police escort to Connecticut for the Little League World Series. Sergeant Sean No Fucking Good is in one of the cruisers, and Lieutenant Edward Lehan is in the other one. James Sullivan says, you guys are great for doing this. No fucking good. You know what else we're great at? James Sullivan, what's that? No fucking good. Covering up murders. James Sullivan, I'm not saying you guys had anything to do with it, but you have to admit it's fucked up. So if you guys, let me make myself full screen for 1 second. This isn't Sean Good being like, yeah, we cover up all the murders, haha. No. This is Sean Good hearing through the grapevine that James Sullivan doesn't believe the Commonwealth's theory. And instead of just ignoring it, Sergeant Sean No Fucking Good, who was essentially the lead investigator from the Canton Police Department for the John O'Keefe murder investigation, is now hearing that James Sullivan is saying this, a witness. And again, instead of just bypassing it, he uses it as leverage to intimidate and retaliate against this witness. That's what that is, to put that in context. And you know what? He's not the only one that did that in town. This is why I'm hoping by James Sullivan coming out, more people start to feel comfortable to tell their stories publicly. If not, if you want to say it privately, shoot me an email. Shoot me a message. I'm more than willing to help you out, to listen to you. I will keep you private if you want to be. But there's more. There's more, because obviously there's more when it comes to No Fucking Good. Which, by the way, is a reminder, Goody's best friend. James Sullivan goes on to say, 3 nights later, while waiting for the first game to start, I get a text. It's a picture of me and Karen from CF McCarthy's. It reads, this man's name is James Sullivan. He is a known philanderer with 5 children. He just got through a messy divorce and was seen hitting on Karen Reed the weekend before at a baseball game. And then this is a video from the police escort of the Little League World Series that he spoke about in the beginning of his tweet. That is the definition of witness intimidation. That is like, you are a cop. Above everything else, you are heavily involved with the investigation of John O'Keefe, that unaliving. Heavily involved. And this is what you're going to do to another witness? Huh. We all need to remember, Sean Good is a townie through and through. Born and raised. Just like Michael Proctor. Left for college or whatever, then came back. Through and through. He's close to Courtney Proctor. And another one of the Kennedys. They're all friends. This is what so many in town have been saying and screaming essentially since John died. And it's taken this long, finally, for the public at large to be like, yeah, that's not right. You can't be doing this. You can't be doing this. I did see, chat, you mentioned another tweet. I did see this one that I screenshotted from James Sullivan as well that I want to bring up. So this isn't the one that you guys are referencing. So I can look on Twitter to see if I can pull it up, if I can figure that out via the live stream. So James Sullivan states a couple of days ago. So this would have been Saturday, because the event he's speaking about is the Canton Town Club event, obviously the defense fundraiser that they held on Juneteenth. What a great day. What a great day, a holiday to have a defense fund fundraiser for, He states, if you attended last night's sickening event, the only logical conclusion is that you are complicit. It's that simple. 100. I want to make this clear as day. Every single person who took part in John's death and the subsequent cover-up frame job will be held accountable. Your time is coming, and it's coming fast. By the way, I do not consider that a threat. I know some people might try to jump through hoops and say that is a threat. That is not a threat. He is saying, if you have pulled some fuck shit, eventually your fuck shit will be found out. That is what he is saying. Going back to the interview, where Michael Proctor stated that James Sullivan stated Karen Reed was toasted, quote unquote. If you have a witness, like I said, that is so close to Karen Reed and you're trying to get her on something, Remember, what did she get becoming guilty of? Drinking and driving. Not anything else, which she did her year-long of probation for and had no issues. Did the 1 year, clean as a whistle. She's a free bird now. I'm going to ask Chad, why do you think a lead investigator who has such a crucial detail with someone who spent such time with this defendant, why do you think they wouldn't call him to the stand? I want to see what chat thinks for a second. And if you're on replay crew, I can't say that fast. Replay crew, feel free to put it in the comments below if you're on replay crew. Why do you think if there is a witness that is saying such a thing about this defendant that you don't think, whatever may be coming of this, you thought she was going to plea out and that didn't happen? Why do you, everyone's like, I know. Because he recognized a lie? Because he wouldn't lie for the Commonwealth? I know. He told Lally Proctor lied in the report. He wasn't on board with the narrative. Because he didn't say what was written in this written statement. Yeah. He would not lie. Proctor made it up. He wouldn't go along the Commonwealth. Yep. See, chat. Yes, Scriveners ever. Yeah. He never said that. He never said that. James Sullivan has stated that he never said Karen Read was toasted. He also stated that he told ADA Adam Lally this. Oh, it wasn't a butt dial. It was a butt writing. We got more hungry butts. It's always about the butts here. A lot of butt stuff. Toasted is a whole new episode. Oh, he did tweet it? Oh, sugar. Okay. I don't think I can do this on live, but what I can do is 1 second. This will be it, and then I'll send you guys over to Emily C. Let me pull him up. So not only does that mean Proctor, per James Sullivan, Proctor lied in the report, and then when this witness told ADA Adam Lally, then Lally decided not to call him because he knew he was going to say this on the stand. Holy crap. Oh, can I pull this up? Oh, and they didn't tell the defense. Thank you, Josie. Legit. Fucking insane. I don't know if I can pull this up. We're going to try. Holy tits McGee. Oh my God. Oh. I feel like, oh God, this is a lot of pressure on me, guys. There has to be a way I can. All right, I can't pull it up. Are you guys okay if I read it to you? I'll read it to you. Holy shit. Okay, I'll read it to you. From James Sullivan, he says 1 hour ago, April 30th, 2024, at 3 p.m., Trial 1, Day 2, at the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office. He's in a prep with Lally. Oh, he was being prepped. Hold on. Oh God, I need a sip of Sancerre. Oh my God. He was prepping with Lally. Oh my God. He's telling us everything. At this prep at the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office is ADA Adam Lally. Shut the fuck up. All roads lead back to Tully. Brian Tully. ADA Laura McLaughlin. And James Sullivan. He goes, fact. I verbally denied making that statement in the presence of all three. If you're just popping in, this is in regards to the police statement saying that, Proctor claimed, holy shit, Proctor claims that this witness, James Sullivan, who was at Safe McCarthy's, that Karen Reed was toasted. Oh shit. I verbally denied making that statement in the presence of all three, Adam Lally, Laura McLaughlin, and Brian Tully. I was then reminded what was that? What was that? Squirrel. I was then reminded I was sequestered and went on my way. They never called me to testify, and they never turned that info over to the defense, and then went on to persecute her twice. I can confirm that Lally took notes. So he attached his interview report. Oh boy. And there's emails. Oh boy. Oh my God. So in his email, this is fucking wild. Read my public records request. Oh shit, Corey. Oh my God, this is James Sullivan says in this email, I requested my witness statement from the Massachusetts State Police on 9/28/25, waited 10 business days, then appealed to the Supervisor of Records on 10/14. The Supervisor of Records that same day directed the Massachusetts State Police to provide a response within 10 days, but I'm sure I won't get it. This is the email that he's writing. I will wait the 10 days though, and if there is no response, I will follow up and then take my next steps. Underlines this. I do have reasons to believe it may contain incorrect statements, and I can elaborate more on that if you want. I look forward to hearing from you if you think I can offer anything. And please tell Karen I am with her, and I still thank God for sending you to defend her still. And if I can assist you or her in any way going forward, please let me know. So I believe this has to be an email to Karen's team. Okay. And then this one is, maybe this is okay. I think I read them backwards. So this is an email to Alan Jackson. Dear Mr. Alan Jackson, I hope this email finds you well. I've never had the pleasure to speak with you personally, but I did speak with the likes of Trooper Proctor, Trooper Buchanan, ADA Lally, etc. He also spoke with Trooper Moore, Christopher Moore, because Christopher Moore was at the interview with Proctor for his witness interview statement. Okay, remember that. So he spoke to Moore, Proctor, Buchanan, Lally, McLaughlin, and Tully. Jesus. Please let Karen know I'm so sorry for what's happened to her, and I also want justice for John. Massachusetts State Police, and he says Proctor and Buchanan, interviewed me at my office in May of 22. Wait, hold on, wait a second. Was it Buquaquack or was it more then? Because Proctor said in the interview it was more. I need to double check this, but I'm almost positive more was in the group chat. I'm almost positive. Yeah, because in the interview, in the actual report that Proctor said, it says him and Chris Moore. But James Sullivan is saying it's Buquaquack. Oh, God. No, I am not comfortable. Okay. He says, Massachusetts State Police, Proctor and Buchanan interviewed me at my office in May of 2022. Not sure the exact date. It wasn't very long, 30 minutes, and I knew very little about the case at that time, which is true because so John died January 29, 2022. He was interviewed May 18th, 2022. So unless you're like in the thick of it with all the witnesses, of course many in town had thoughts, but you also need to remember, like, think about it. Just the angel that she is, Karina Kolakithis, if she was still in the thick of it at that time and she was at the waterfall, but she's still friendly with Jen McCabe and that crew, and she thinks a certain thing happened or versus not because she's been surrounded by those people, I can understand why someone who wasn't significantly surrounded by them didn't really know all that much. May have felt a certain way, but didn't actually know what was going on. This is fucking wild. So he goes, but I knew very little about the case at that time, but I described John and Karen that night as happy and Karen as nice and witty. That's not in the interview report. He goes on to say, I told them I had just met her that night, so didn't really know much about her. That is in the report. They asked if I bought drinks. They said they had receipts, blah, blah, blah. They asked if Karen looked intoxicated, and I told them she looked fine to me. I never received a copy of my witness statement, but I didn't pursue it at that time because I assumed I would testify. After they failed to call me, I understood I couldn't request a copy during the trial, so I waited and just recently submitted the request. Okay, so that was his request. Okay. Oh. Yes, this is James Sullivan's account. Let me pull up another one of the tweets so you guys have it. We'll do the Chris Albert one. Oh, I don't like that. Okay, that's better. All right. And now, Corey Hopkins. Fuck around and find out. Hold on. Corey Hopkins and Kyle Sharkey. Don't worry about it, chat. You guys are great. Thank you for hanging in there with me and my speed bumps. Corey Hopkins sent in a public records request. She's like, I'm catching wind of this. Bet. Fucking bet. The date is Wednesday, June 24th, 2026. Wait, hold on. That was yesterday. Yesterday, Corey Hopkins, love her so much, sends this in. Public records request, parentheses, Sullivan, end parentheses. Dear Norfolk County District Attorney's Office, pursuant to the Massachusetts Public Records Law, please produce a copy of all handwritten notes and, if they were later transcribed, typed notes generated by ADA Adam Lally on April 30th, 2024 regarding his interview/meeting with Jim Sullivan, I attached a document that provides additional context for this request. Thanks so much, Corey. Oh, God. What kind of, oh, Jesus. It just gets worse and worse and worse. So, of course, please support James Sullivan as well. Make sure you go, if you're on Twitter, go check out his Twitter. I'm realizing it's kind of cut off. I don't think any of the other... The attachment says all the reasons why they can't assert privilege. James Sullivan didn't attach it. Let me see. Corey, don't say it attached to James's tweet. James Sullivan also stated underneath the tweet regarding all of this that ADA Adam Lally never showed it to me. So never showed what he wrote down. He just spoke the words. Oh, it's not worth reading. It's not worth reading. Just legal arguments. Okay, noted. Let me guess. It's a bunch of hoopla that it's just a lot of big words to try to confuse the average, Joe Schmo like me. I think I need to realize by now that they can't pull this stuff even to the average Joe Schmo. Not with the technology that is available these days. Wow. Wow. This is... Okay. So what we have here is a witness that was legitimately, per the statute, intimidated by Sean Good. Also had an interview with Proctor, maybe Buchanan, and Chris Moore from Massachusetts State Police, where Proctor incorrectly transcribed this witness saying he said Karen was toasted when he actually said that Karen was nice and witty. New tweet about Connor knowing too. What are you talking about? What do you mean? Why is this all popping off right now? You guys are getting my legitimate reactions right now. What do you mean? Who? You got me sounding like an owl. Who? Yes, Scott. Yeah. Why am I half expecting file shredders are screaming away inside DA Meatball's office and a mysterious computer virus taking down all the computers? No, literally though. What? Oh my God. I'm like processing this in real time. It's just when you think you have heard it all. We all knew more was going to be coming out. But what do you mean? Who else did they lie about? Who else did they interview as a witness and not take down their statements and never tell anyone? Who is the man wearing the black like sweatshirt thing too that they apparently didn't know? Yeah, and that's the other thing, Colleen. We are paying for this. Some of you not. Some of you are lucky and you just get to watch the shit show from far away. Even if you're in a different county. But even if you're in a different county, eventually it's all going to go back, right? If you're in Massachusetts, eventually these are your taxpayer dollars too. Oh my God. Oh my God. If anyone can tell me where the Connor knowing tweet... Well, here's the thing. Connor can say he didn't know all of this for whatever. And I don't believe that because as the chief trial counsel, he is top dog. Other than Lynn Beeland, who was like, if you have Morrissey and then you have the right-hand woman is Lynn Beeland, the first ADA, and then you have the chief trial counsel. That was Greg Connor. So this is why everyone's like, what the fuck? If you said it in chat, I didn't see it yet. check your Twitter DMs. Okay. Romy, I don't see it. Is my thing just behind? I will. Of course he knows. Of course. Sorry if that was loud. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't apologize for being loud, but I don't want, if you were in earbuds, I apologize. Let me clear some of these out. I want to thank you guys. And then I want to see this tweet about Greg Conner. Thank you, Miss Jules, for becoming a member. Thank you, Kimbabalui. Andrea says, 5 skins, still only has 2.1K followers. You just started and have, I have 14,000. What do you mean I have 14? Where is the silent majority? They're currently talking ragtime. Again, thank you all. I appreciate you all so much. Like, this is crazy. Thank you, Casey, for becoming a member. Thank you, Susan. And Lisa says, Boozy Beauty, keep it up with the live shows. You're amazing. You are amazing, Lisa. Thank you for being here. DK, oh, thank you. I can listen to you all day. Love your show already. Hearts back. Thank you. And Dancing Quinn, thank you for becoming a member. I hope you all members enjoy my custom emojis. I said last time they took me a long time to figure out how to do that. So I hope you all enjoy this. And if you cannot afford all the things, do not worry. We are just here to shoot the shit and talk about Norfolk County and whatever else is going around in the realm of the John O'Keefe investigation, Sandra Birchmore, all of the things. Karen Reed, Aiden Carney, the whole thing. That's what we're here for, is to put it all out there and just lay it all out. Romy, I got it. Thank you, friend. Okay. Oh, God, James Sullivan keeps going, chat. I feel so bad. Emily's been live. I'm so sorry. Emily C., I love you so much. I promise I wanted to be done in an hour, and I just don't know how to shut up. I really just don't know how to shut up. See, here's the thing. They called Kerry a talker. The only difference is Kerry, according to what she said in her initial interview, is a shit talker. There's a difference between wanting to talk and then wanting to talk shit. I just want to talk. She's like, she's in Discord right now. Who the hell does she think she is? Blah, 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 blah. I don't know if Kerry Roberts was ever in the Discord. Jen McCabe was. Jen, are you still in the Discord? Or did you delete all your messages? Just wondering. Okay. Well, speaking of talking, James Sullivan has more to say. James, if you're watching, thank you. I appreciate you. Please make sure you have cameras and all the things. Thank you. Please give us the name of your lipstick. Oh, I didn't bring it with me. Just so you guys know, I'm going to get better at this. I realized after last Monday's show, I could tag products. So I tagged pretty much my whole face. So once this is done, I will make sure, because usually my lipsticks people always ask for, but I know it's a Maybelline lip liner. Maybelline, it's like called like Lift Liner or something like that. I'll get the actual shade. And I do put a lip gloss on top of it. I always find lip liners are more lasting and less drying than the majority of all lip liners. And then on top of it is a Bare Minerals lip gloss. What's this shade? Oh my God, I'm blind as a bat. In the shade Insensuity, something. I will make sure I tag it so you guys know. It's pretty, right? I love a nude, a pinky nude. Lip liner. 10 out of 10 recommend, ladies. If you like lip liners, the Maybelline lip liners, they're the best. Not only are they inexpensive, but they last long. Sorry, guys. For those of you who don't like makeup, I have to go off on a little tangent every now and then. Okay. Well, Charlotte Tilbury is amazing too. Agreed. Oh, so good. So good. And I like it all. I will spend money if it's a good product. But I will also want to save some dollar bills too. Okay. Well. Thank you. All right. James Sullivan tweeted again 10 minutes ago. Thank you, Romy, for sending this to me. I love you. Thank you for being such a big help. Streamer needs a sponsorship. Wait, where'd that go? Where'd that go? No, crap. I am so bad at this. Oh, yeah. Where'd you go? I don't need a sponsorship. I can just tag the product, but it would be nice. Okay. I promise, chat, once I get better at this, I'll be able to pull up the tweet of it all, okay? Once I get better so we can read this together. So I am going to read this to you guys. Oh boy. So James Sullivan, the same witness that we were just talking about. His Twitter, by the way, is at RealJustSully. So RealJustSully. Please make sure you go and give him love, likes, shared, copy the links, whatever you got to do. Please make sure that you share, just so he can know that people are appreciating this. I know my chat is. Some of you secretly watching may not be enjoying this. Oh well. Maybe don't be trash bags, and then people wouldn't have to talk about this kind of stuff. Okay. James Sullivan states on October 21st, 2025. Wow. Is this the most? Yeah. Okay. October 21st, 2025. The Commonwealth advises me, the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office has the statement in their possession and to contact them to obtain it. I emailed the order and copied Greg Connor. I never received a response. Holy fucking shit. Okay. If you follow me on Twitter, actually on TikTok too, because I made a video about this. I will say, when I saw the public records request, I believe it was Kyle Sharkey who got this info. It might have been Corey. I apologize. I love you both equally. You know that. Love you. Where we got a breakdown of the numbers of the emails that Greg Connor was in regards to only Karen Reed's criminal case. So the way that this public records request was put in is they only asked for the docket number of Karen Reed's criminal case, and then any emails in specific date ranges that Greg Connor is on, is in, is communicating in, period. If Greg Connor was CC'd, if he was named in an email, all of it. Just the term Greg Connor, period. And what I noticed is it was like in 6-month intervals. So say it was like January 2023 through like July 2023. And then like August 2023 through December 2023. Those numbers in the beginning were relatively low, like almost none, if not none. But then after the second trial, after the first trial ended, gearing up for the second trial. So we all know she got the mistrial July of 2024. The numbers skyrocketed in the amount of emails that Greg Connor was on. It went from like, I think it was only like 100, give or take, to then thousands of responses that came back with Greg Connor, his name or his email, whether he was CC'd or actually doing the emailing. Thousands. I think the number was like 7,500. It was crazy. It was my my jaw dropped when I saw this number, because one of the things that he stated when he first said that he was running for district attorney was that, he had nothing to do with the persecution of Karen Reed. Make sure you thumbs up this video. I don't know why my thing does that. And he lied. Not only did this mean, which, by the way, we have yet to get that public records request. I think Emily is still doing like the funding for it, because it's going to be pretty damn expensive to try to get those emails, because it's a lot. So they'll probably be done in like dribs and drabs. But just so you all know, the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office has put a halt on all things Karen Reed related getting it until the DA's office is done producing these bigger drops that are being done every 2 weeks, every other Friday. Kyle is getting document drops. So what that means is, not only did Greg Connor, he was not honest about it, but he was in some way, form or the other, very involved with at least the second trial of Karen Reed. And honestly, if you're asking me, I think that's worse than being in it from the beginning. Because you're a chief trial counsel. You were there for the first trial, at least for opening statements, if not just, watching on live streams and taking notes. If you had nothing to do with trial 1, and then come trial 2, you're in thousands and thousands of emails, that means you most likely were helping in some way or form. You were aware and a part of this. So now to know that James Sullivan included Greg Connor in his email in regards to the fuckery of all of this, I actually what the? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If you are in Norfolk County, and even if you don't fully agree with how I feel, you can't be okay with this. You can't be okay with this. This is a witness saying that his interview was incorrectly reported. He had he had a meeting with 2 ADAs, Laura McLaughlin and Adam Lally, with Brian Tully there, where he specifically says, nope, Proctor was not honest. That's not what I said. And Lally was taking notes. Then this witness tries to get this in a public records request, CC's Greg Connor, who is now running for district attorney, does not respond to him. And then Greg Connor leaves the office to run for district attorney, saying that he had nothing to do, had no wherewithal what's going on with the Karen Reed trials. And the Proctors support Connor. On top of all of it. Corey says, I won my appeal to the supervisor of records to get Colleen Crawford emails. Norfolk County District Attorney's Office can't wait till that discovery is produced. Yeah, me too, babe. Me freaking too. I am so over this shit. I am all right, so James Sullivan also attached some things to his tweet. So he sent in a screenshot of his email CCing Greg Connor. This was on October 21st, 2025, to Norfolk County Public Records, CCing Greg Connor. Subject, Massachusetts State Police Public Records Request, and then the number. James Sullivan in this email says, hi, per attached and below, CC Greg Connor. Oh, who was Colleen Crawford? Oh, she's like, Colleen Crawford works in the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office, and she is just like the media technology person. So when you have evidence like videos, it goes through Colleen. She at one point had an LLC with John Fanning for media technology related things. Yeah, there's no conflict of interest there. Like, oh, you really can't. I'm so done. This all needs to come out. I recognize this all needs to come out. And of course, you know, I love hearing all these things and all the truth and honesty coming out. Every single time more of this stuff comes out, I just get more and more and more mad. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What else is there? So James Sullivan did attach his, what is this? Is this his appeal or something to the public records request? Yes, this is his appeal. Okay. So he was denied public records and then he appealed. And they are saying, the supervisor of records, I have received the petition of James Sullivan appealing the non-response of the Department of State Police to a records request for public records. On September 28, 2025, Mr. Sullivan requested a copy of an interview conducted in May 2022 between a named individual and two identified troopers. Claiming to not have received responsive records, Mr. Sullivan petitioned this office and this appeal was opened as a result. Despite being notified of the opening of this appeal, it remains unclear whether the department has provided a response. Accordingly, the department is ordered to provide Mr. Sullivan with a response to his request, provided in a manner consistent with this order, the public records law, and its regulations within 10 business days. A copy of any such response must be provided to this office. It is preferable to send an electronic copy, Mr. Sullivan may appeal the substantive nature of the department's response within 90 days. Holy shit. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. I don't know, man. Thank you, Bella Mama. If you guys want to see this with your own eyes, if you are Norfolk County resident like me and you're not believing me reading this, I completely understand if you want to see this with your own eyes. James Sullivan has put it all out there. His Twitter account is @RealJustSully, and I will repost. Repost. Who the hell do I think I am? Repost. If you want to see it for yourself. Bella Mama states, all viewers, don't forget, September 1st, 2026 is election day. If you want transparency, stop the corruption, justice for Officer John O'Keefe, Turtle Boy, Karen, Sander, vote for Adam Deitz. This is just... I can't. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Let me take a little breather for a sec. Thank you, Nancy, for becoming a member. Thank you, Jank RN, for becoming a member. Appreciate you. Pro Gamer states, for Colleen Crawford for you, she has done so much. Crazy. And Dancing Quinn says, you know how Gilday said a subpoena has to mean something? A witness's testimony should as well. The perjury is surreal. Very good point. Very, very good point. I hope the feds are watching. No, 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 no. Please. That's even more pressure. I'm pressured enough with I haven't even looked at the numbers yet to see how many of you guys are watching still. How the hell do I have 2.3 thousand of you? Jeez. This isn't real. This isn't real. I'm fine. I'm fine. I am being Lori, thank you for checking in. I'm trying to subdue because I have a microphone and some of you are on earbuds and I don't want to blow out your eardrums. I care about you guys too much. But yeah, that it's damning. It's damning. There's nothing else to say about it. I don't know how else to take in this shit because it's exactly what it is. It's exactly what this is. And the reason why I made a video I was very angry and I was very passionate in this video regarding the whole emails and how many emails are in specifically the second trial of Karen Reed, that Greg Connor is in some way, somehow. Like I said, whether he's just CC'd, whether he's just named, like with James Sullivan, Sally, sorry. But I don't know how much more we can say to people to say like this isn't right. And we shouldn't be funding this. In fact, crap, we should be getting some money back, if you ask me. Karen should be refunded all the money that went into her prosecution. And now she's spending even more money on 4 damn lawsuits to try to fight this. Every single time more of this comes out, the more that I just think of how successful her cases are going to be. But especially the case where Karen Reed is now suing Massachusetts State Police and the Canton Police Department. It's just one thing after the other. I know, and we really do need to thank Sully for speaking out because, you know, I've been told a lot of stories, and obviously the majority of these people want their stories to be private, and I fully respect that. I get it. Having seen it firsthand myself, having gone through it firsthand myself, my only greater thing is that I'm not physically in Canton. There's a little bit of distance, not much, but at least I'm not in the town. I can't imagine living in the town, having kids around the same age, having to do with sports and all the things. I can't imagine. These are also the cops. Like we need to remember this too. Goody was essentially threatening Sully. Like, that's a cop. Can you imagine a cop like you going in and doing a report for something? You know, say it's like, you know, like an accident. There was a car accident or something, and you go in and like one of the cops pulls you and says something fucked up, like, I know you were drinking and driving, you know, say something like that. And it's like, I wasn't, but like, can you imagine? But this cop also has so many ties, including to Michael Proctor. But not only that, the chief, Berkey, Rafferty, all the supervisors, Gallagher, Albert, Lanka, Hannibal Lanka. It's just, oh yeah. Retaliation using kids sports was 100% happening. Yes. Oh yes. Not just hockey. soccer, lacrosse. Trust me. I've heard from a lot. We'll just say it like that. Heard from a lot. And like I said, if you want to tell me your story, even if you don't want to put it out to the public, shoot me an email, shoot me a message on any of the platforms. I try to read them all. I try. Yeah, it's true. It's true. The kids just being in the same school. Yeah. Yeah. I know. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. My eyes look like when I'm like this. That's how Jennifer McCabe looked after that last hearing. Not this past one, but last week when her and Chris went. After the cameras were down and she walked away, that's what Jen looked like. Because they're so used to having a Canoni in their court. But Gilday's not like that. Thank God. Judge Gilday pokes all of the attorneys equally. Poke, 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 poke. Well, and now Colin Albert has to sit for a deposition, and he's going to have to mess up his ASVAB school training, boot camp, basic training, whatever he is in. I don't even know. We won't even get into that again. I already went on my rant about that. But yeah. Oh, Bob. And I also feel terrible for the community as a whole. I know there's some people rolling their eyes, but like a community shouldn't have to be torn apart like this. However, if you have individuals that are acting a certain way that have lived a very privileged life in town, unchecked for what seems like decades, eventually all that comes crashing down. I think I saw something in regards to mods. Where'd that go? There's trolls. I mean, nothing out of the ordinary. At least they're not showing at my house this time. Oh, you just reminded me. Okay. We can end on that if you want. I almost forgot. How dare I have trolls. I have trolls in different area codes. Area codes. You cannot type lyrics in the chat and not expect me not to see them or sing them back at you. I got trolls. Don't worry. I will go through the comments and add more mods. I'm so sorry. I wasn't expecting. No, I cannot do a call-in. That is way too much pressure, Bailey. I don't know how to do all that. Okay. Karma, chameleon. They come and go. Trolls come and go. Okay. I'll stop. All right. Let me pull up the Chris Albert video if you're not on the Twitter. So this actually came into my comments. Someone was out and about, just a random human was out and about in Canton. I believe this is CF McCarthy's. I'm almost like 99.999% of this is like positive. This is CF McCarthy's. And Chris was there. This was Father's Day. And I think I'm just going to play it so you guys can see it. Let me make myself small. Okay. It's quick.
They've been hugging for the past 2 minutes.
Now, here's the deal. I'm not going to make fun of Chris. You had a bad day. I get it. And I get it. I understand where you're under pressure constantly that eventually you break. However, like I said in my tweet, I cannot and will not have sympathy for someone who has acted in the way that they have, like Chris Albert. Not only because things happened to me in regards to him and how he somehow knew where me and a few of my friends were in town, how he even knew that, or how he then said during this phone call, why don't you just come on back and we'll talk in person? I can't get down with feeling bad for someone who has essentially ran around town for years and years and years and years, acting the way that he has, for using his camera footage outside of his pizza shop to identify people, and then they get harassed. And I know there's some of you watching that are like, well, what about us? What about us? That's the whole point. This is not one-sided. And we also need to remember who started where. Let me bring it up again. That's what I mean. Like, I can't feel bad. I cannot feel bad. How the hell did Chris Albert know about a police interview in June of 2022? James Sullivan says it was Proctor that told him. How the hell did he know this? And why the hell did he have, honestly, the gall to say this to another witness? This was early on. This is June 2022. And frankly, this is a similar story that I'm hearing time and time and time again. Not just about Chris, but many of them. I can't feel bad. I really can't. And if you're just thinking about the context of like when this video happened, so this commenter stated that it happened on Father's Day. I get it. You've been having a really rough time lately. We don't know what happened regarding the communication of Colin and this deposition. We don't know if it was purposely dodged, if it was miscommunication, if he was told by his attorneys. I don't know. All I know is this. He had a subpoena, and regardless if you want to say it was canceled, the term per Rosenberg's email is rescheduled. It's rescheduled. Judge Gilday agrees with that. He has a subpoena, and he has to fulfill that order. And if he doesn't, Judge Gilday is going to order him just like he did Proctor. So I get it, that's stressful. And I understand Colin wants to make his life better. But when you have an obligation, especially in a court setting, you have to follow through with it. You can't just leave the state to try to better your life. Sorry, that's not what happens. Maybe clean up what's going on at home first before you leave home. You can't just leave things. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Rescheduled. Exactly. Rescheduled. You know? And I won't even mention the early 90s, mid 90s of it all. I think, chat is going wild regarding that. Won't even mention it. If you know, you know. I understand you're stressed. And you probably got a little too drunk and then you lost it. And this commenter that posted that video said it was a random stranger from Scotland. Because if you guys know, we have the World Cup in town. So, there's the Scottish and the English and all they're all over the place. I get it. Colin is an adult. It's his responsibility now. Who knows? Maybe Chris was happy and that's the reason why. Maybe he was crying happy because of the game. I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, I've been on for an hour later than I expected. I think I covered everything. Let me double check all of my screenshots. Okay. Let me end with this little blurb regarding all of the things that we've been speaking about today. Please remember, for all my Norfolk County residents, that it is not the November voting that matters. It is the September 1st voting, because there are 6 Democrats running. 6. And the only one that has stated that he's going to look into all of this is Adam Deitch. He's the only one. Trust me, chat. I've been listening to all of the interviews. I've been listening to all of the debates and the conversations and all of the things. Adam is the only one who has said that he's going to look into all of this. So, if John O'Keefe is your leverage for voting, beautiful. If Karen Reed is your leverage for voting, beautiful. If Sandra Birchmore is your leverage for voting, beautiful. If it's wasting taxpayer dollars, beautiful. If it's just to spite Greg Conner or the Massachusetts State Police or the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office, whatever it is, please, if you are a county resident, it is so crucial that Adam Deitch gets elected. He has the experience. He has the wherewithal. He's smart. But not only that, he cares. And I think out of all of that, that's the most important. I know, there's way too many of them. I agree. There is way too many of them. And I'm not normally into like the political sphere of it all. I obviously do have pretty strong viewpoints when it comes to certain aspects. I think you guys can all tell which way I lean. But at the end of the day, I've spoken to so many Republicans, conservatives, who are switching over for the vote just to be able to vote for Adam Deitch. Like, that's where this is coming from. Because Greg Conner has basically the DA's office in the palm of his hand. They don't vote for him. It's not going to be good for their careers. We can assume. Not a promise. That's not what Greg Conner says. That's what I'm thinking. But I did want to end with a little note from one of my friends. Some of you probably know this creator. Probably one of the least problematic creators on YouTube in the free Karen Reed's realm of it all. Mr. Maza Media. And again, like I've been saying, please make sure you heart the tweet if you're on Twitter, share, repost, do all the things, follow him, of course. He tweeted out recently, we all need to remember that in the end, the good will prevail. Truth will prevail. It comes in time. And if that's the one thing we can all learn from this, is that it is very much a slow drib and drab, whatever they said. But slowly but surely, we're getting to more answers, more clarity. Here comes my Emily D. Baker, the fuckery of it all. Eventually it'll all come out. We just have to be patient. We have to poke in all the right ways with all the public records requests, making sure you're saving all the documents if you're interested in doing fellow research with me and some friends. And just know in time it'll come. It'll come eventually. Let me wrap this up by seeing if there's any other new members or super chats. Everyone's like, love EDB, the best. But can I just say how blessed we are to have the law tubers that we do? EDB, Brother Counsel, Defense Diaries, Lawyer You Know. Oh, Ian Runkle. Like, I remember, just a little sidebar for a second, I was watching EDB for a long time, and then it was the Johnny Depp civil case in Amber Heard, and they were doing like mutual StreamYard things where there'd be like 5 or 6 of these law tubers on, and that's how I found so many of the law tubers. I was like, ooh, I can learn a lot from a lot of you. Well, of course, Melanie, guys, of course. DUI guy, I know. And can I just say, first of all, how he found me, no idea. But the fact that he was like, oh, and Boozy Beauty, she's a Norfolk County resident. I was like, damn it. Flabbergasted. I was like, crap. Crazy. Oh, I mean, so I remember it was Emily D. Baker. Now I'm going on a little tangent. It was Emily D. Baker. It was like, oh, he's our comfort Canadian attorney. Like, you know, he's the comfort one. He's like above, you know, he's kind of safe from all of this. They're all so great in their own ways. Like, they're all so talented, and they all do their own thing in each and individual ways. And I really do appreciate them all. Even if I don't fully agree with what they're saying, just the fact that you can get the different opinions of all of it, because that's really what court is, right? That's what case law is. It's all about arguments and the things. Of course, there's rules that they're supposed to follow, but there's some bending of some things. So I find it fascinating, not only to watch actual court, but then to see their opinions of everything too. But something they all are in, like, oh, justice served. Oh my God. Yes. Oh, just amazing. Like, absolutely just amazing. Okay. So I think, I said I will pull up the last couple of things. Okay. Last couple of things, and then you guys are off on your merry way. Thank you, Unicorn, for becoming a member. I appreciate you. Enjoy the emojis. They're the best. DK. Oh my God. Thank you. Jesus. Oh my God. Okay. DK says, one wrongly accused Black man couldn't have exposed this. Agreed. One wrongly treated woman by and Massachusetts State Police trooper couldn't have exposed this. Agreed. It took the strength of Karen Reed and the tenacity and grit of Turtle Boy, agreed, to expose this. Let's fucking go. Time for Massachusetts redemption. Exactly. Because think about it, like, Sandra Birchmore was the year beforehand. And the one thing that grinds my gears is when people don't believe victims. When you have someone coming forward and saying something's happening, believe them. The very first thing that usually happens is people don't believe victims and survivors. And you have to. Or worse, you have a victim such as Sandra Birchmore, and you have a friend that comes forward, and instead of her friend being treated as she should have, she was then targeted. Still to this day targeted by people in town in Canton, as well as Canton PD. It may not be the full force, by the way, but it's definitely some of them. It takes an army. Pun intended, I guess. Pun intended. I walked right into that one. Yes, Andrea Burkhart. Of course, Andrea. I love Andrea. Love it. Of course. And Coach Karen says, thank you, Coach Karen. Even better, show up for court but claim unavailable for a depo. Thank you, Tony Pegg, for becoming a member. And also, thank you, Nancy Manning. Okay. Oh my God, you guys, like, just the chat has been great. Like, you guys honestly are so amazing. I'm just double checking something last thing on my phone, making sure things aren't frozen and we are good. Yes, spicy sour. If you actually reverse a little bit, you will see everything that I said in regards to Meg Kennedy and her husband. So yeah. No, not Mizzy. Not Mizzy. Oh, by the way, that's such a cute phone case. Noelle. So cute. So cute. Okay. I'm glad you had fun. You guys are about love the font. Yes. So much better, right? I was trying to be fancy and it didn't go very well for me. Okay, guys. Oh, Justin Root. And Jen, what a force Justin's sister Jen is. Like, she's been screaming about this for years. Well, chat, that's all I have. I meant to be off by 9 p.m. The font is much easier for me to read. Thank you again, every single one of you, for being here. Like I started off my stream, if you weren't here at the very beginning, I truly, I don't know what I did to be so deserving of all of your attention and your kindness, whether you like me or you're just here as a local resident to see what's going on. I hope that just a little bit of clarity helped you all tonight. If you popped in midstream, feel free to start over from the beginning. You can always make this 1.5, 2 times speed if that's your boat. If you're rewatching this on a later day, maybe you're doing errands or cleaning your home or whatever. I just thank you all for being here. You guys are amazing, truly and honestly. I'm not bullshitting you. Like, I can't bullshit you. I was hoping for like 100 people. And you guys have been so giving with your time. Some of you, your funds. But it doesn't matter what you give. Just know that I am grateful for literally even just viewing. Even if you don't feel comfortable commenting or liking or whatever. I'm totally fine. As long as you are here to hang out. Whatever platform you like to see me on. TikTok, Twitter, X, whatever. I call it Twitter still, or YouTube. I think you all are incredible, truly. Even the ones that don't like me, but watch everything I do. Truly. Thank you all for being here. I am planning a members only stream soon. I just want to make sure I have some things for us to talk about privately. So I want to see what I want to do in regards to members only streams. But just so you know, they're coming very soon. Oh my God, this chat is incredible. Like, I honestly, I like I said, I don't know what I did for you guys to be here, honestly. But like I said, it doesn't go unnoticed. Truly, it doesn't. It really doesn't. Well, everyone, thank you. Okay. Before my Cancer moon starts to get me emotional again, I need to. Everyone's like, more live streams. Okay, I promise. I was thinking maybe Monday nights. I'm trying to pick a night where there's not other streamers. I'm so sorry if you're a streamer on Monday nights. That's not what I meant. Anyways, Emily C should still be live. I'm such a jerk for saying this long. Okay. Emily C should still be live. I don't know how to send you all over there. I'm not that good at this. But I'm sure most of you know Emily C at Emily SEE. So please, if you want to go and still chit chat, I will be over there. I'm going to eat dinner, a late dinner today. And I'll be in Emily's chat. So if you still want to chat with me, I promise I'll go over there. Everyone's like, I'm a Cancer moon too. We are emotional. Welcome to Cancer season. We cry all the time. Anyways, Love you guys. Oh boy. Jack Costed. Hang around a little bit more. Anyways, you guys, Monday is Runkle. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. A meal of food is always good. And yeah, I agree. We love food over here. Oh my God, you guys are into astrology. If you guys are into astrology, we're about to go down a rabbit hole eventually. Not tonight, because I do need to go eat. Okay, so please, sorry. Okay, like I said, if you want to keep chatting, please hop over to Emily C. She should still be live with the expert going over some fun stuff. I will be in chat. I will do a members only live. I promise you, pinky, pinky, pinky. If we have a massive update in the next couple of days, feel free to make sure you have your notifications on, because I may just go randomly live again if there's more shenanigans going down. Anyways, I love you, love you, love you. I covered it all. My ADHD worked for me tonight. And if you have any comments, suggestions, things, leave them in the comments, please. I guess do the hype thing. I don't know what that means. No idea. Whatever that is, hype it up. I don't know. And like I said, if you too have a story that you'd like to share, whether you want it out publicly or privately, feel free to reach out to me in whatever way. My email is just my username, boozybeauty, spelled this way, @gmail.com. Any of the DMs too. If I don't respond, please don't get mad. I just tend to read and then float to the next, unless there's something very, very important, which has happened as of recently. But anyways, thank you all. Corey Hopkins, Kyle Sharkey, James Sullivan. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you all have the best night. Cheers to whatever you are enjoying, be it H2O, Sancerre, a little Jameson and High Noon Orange. Fucking weird. You want to talk about being a drinker. What do you mean Brian Higgins was drinking Jameson and High Noon Orange? I can't. On that note, I love you all. Again, make sure you have your notifications on. And I'll see you in the next one. Chat, I love you. I love you. I love you. Have the best night. Hi and bye, and I love you. Oh, I forgot to click end stream. Okay, now I'm leaving. Bye.